Welcome back for more Ocarina of Time. I figure it's probably about time to go collect another gold sculpture reward, so let's do that. You know, real quick before we meet whoever's waiting for us in the Temple of Time. I bet it's Sheik. Bet it's Sheik. Sheik was waiting there before. Could be again. The curse has been broken. Thank you. Here's a reward for you. Bombshell! Screw you! We spoken to this guy yet? Curse has been broken. Thank you. Here's a reward for you. Giant's wallet! That would have been good to get before we started the Spirit Temple, but okay. Now you got all up to 500 rupees. So at 50, we'll free this guy, and then it'll be until 100 to free that guy. So we actually just need, like, 6 more? No, 4 more. And then we can get that last reward before the final. You know, the second to last. Anyway, see you at the Temple of Time. Figured I'd take the front entrance, so as not to scare whoever is waiting for us. I've been waiting for you, Link. Well, I'd say I called it, but I played this game before, so no one's impressed. Link, the hero of time. You have overcome many hardships and awakened 6 sages. And now you have a final challenge, a showdown with Ganondorf, the king of evil. Before that, I have things I want to tell only to you. Please listen. Another unknown legend of the Triforce passed down by the Shadow Folk, the Sheikahs. If you would seek the Sacred Triangle, listen well. The resting place of the Sacred Triangle, the Sacred Realm, is a mirror that reflects what is in the heart. The heart of one who enters it. If an evil heart, the realm will become full of evil. If pure, the realm will become a paradise. The Triforce, the Sacred Triangle. It is a balance that weighs the 3 forces, power, wisdom, and courage. If the heart of the one who holds the Sacred Triangle has all 3 forces in balance, that one will gain the true force to govern all. A concept that they just completely throw out after this game. The true force. But if that one's heart is not in balance, the Triforce will separate into 3 parts, power, wisdom, and courage. Only one part will remain for the one who touched the Triforce. The part representing the force that one most believes in. If that one seeks the true force, that one must acquire the 2 lost parts. Or maybe true force is just referring to having all 3 pieces. Those 2 parts will be held within others chosen by destiny, who will bear the Triforce mark on the backs of their hands. Chosen by destiny. Or in other words, whoever the story writers want it to be, basically. I just find that funny. 7 years ago, Ganondorf, the King of Thieves, used the door you opened in the Temple of Time and entered the Sacred Realm. But when he laid his hands on the Triforce, the legend came true. The Triforce separated into 3 parts. Only the Triforce of Power remained in Ganondorf's hand. The strength of the Triforce of Power enabled him to become a mighty, evil king, but his dark ambitions were not satisfied. Sorry, I must be smacking my cable there. Sorry. To gain complete mastery of the world, I should take a drink of water! To gain complete mastery of the world, Ganondorf started looking for those chosen by destiny to hold the other 2 other Triforce parts. The one who holds the Triforce of Courage is you, Link. And the other, who holds the Triforce of Wisdom, is the 7th Sage, who's destined to be the leader of them all. It is I, the Princess of Hyrule, Zelda. I apologize for meeting you in disguise, but it was necessary to hide from the King of Evil. Please forgive me. On that day, 7 years ago, Ganondorf attacked Hyrule Castle. I'm not sure why there's a white bar at the bottom of the screen. Maybe I can hide that. I saw you as I was escaping from the castle with my attendant Impa. I thought I should entrust the Ocarina to you. I thought that would be our best chance. As long as you had the Ocarina in your possession. I thought Ganondorf could never enter the Sacred Realm, but something I could never expect happened. He did it anyway? After you opened the Door of Time, the Master Sword sealed you away in the Sacred Realm. Oh yeah, that. I guess you wouldn't have known about that. It's only happened like once in the entire history of the entire franchise. Your spirit remained in the Sacred Realm, and then the Triforce fell into Ganondorf's hands. He went on to invade the Sacred Realm. Ganondorf had become the Evil King, and the Sacred Realm became a world of evil. All of this is an unfortunate coincidence. I passed myself off as a Sheikah and hoped that you would return. I waited for 7 years. And now you're back. The Dark Age ruled by Ganondorf, the King of Evil, will end. The 6 sages will open the sealed door and lower Ganondorf back into the Sacred Realm. Doesn't he already rule it, though? Like, wouldn't he already still have access? Whatever. I will then seal the door to the Sacred Realm for this world. Thus, Ganondorf, the Evil King, will vanish from Hyrule. Link, in order to do this, I need your courage again. Please protect me while I do my part. And here is a weapon that can penetrate the Evil King's defenses. The power given to the Chosen Ones. The Sacred Arrow of Light. 3 exclamation marks! Oh, I wasn't nearly excited enough reading that out. You got the Arrow of Light. Set it to sea and use your arrows, will be powered up. The light of justice will smite evil. That rumbling. It can't be? Why is that a question? Well, I sure do my part to protect you in this final phase of the game. Princess Zelda, you foolish traitor. I commend you for avoiding my pursuit for 7 long years. But you let your guard down. I knew you would appear if I let this kid wander around. My only mistake was to slightly underestimate the power of this kid. No. It was not the kid's power I misjudged. It was the power of the Triforce of Courage. Which shouldn't have any power, because it's the Triforce of Courage, not the Triforce of Power. But, the Triforce of Wisdom that Zelda has, and obtain these 2 Triforces. Then I will become the true ruler of the world. Except you'll still need courage, you dingus! That's what she was just telling me! If you want to rescue Zelda, come to my castle. Well, I guess we could better go save her. Man, I gotta go to the bathroom. Well, here we are, back to Ganon's castle. It's a little interesting that it's called Ganon's castle and not Ganondorf's castle, but whatever. Link, can you hear me? It's Rauru, the sage. We 6 will gather our power to create a bridge to the castle where Ganondorf dwells. The castle's keep, which is known as Ganon's Tower, is protected by 6 evil barriers. Bring down the 6 barriers and save Princess Zelda. 2 exclamation marks! Not as important as the Arrow of Light. Nice musical callback to A Link to the Past there. Title screen. Music, yeah. Title screen sequence music there going on. Nice rainbow bridge. It looks a whole lot nicer in the 3DS version, which is funny because they did not need to make that bridge so fancy. And then they did. Now we're inside Ganon's castle. Ooh. Couple of BMOs that aren't doing their job very well. Easy to skirt past them. There's that good old bad old barrier right here. Ow. Actually hurts to run into? Okay. Unlike Wind Waker, we can't dispel the barrier with the Master Sword. But whatever, I can't complain. It's, you know, game design. They wanted to go one way in one game and a different way in a different game. It's fine. I don't mind the sorta kinda retconning. You can even call it that. Now, I'm not actually certain where this is, so I might have the wrong wall. But there was a secret in here that... Yeah, right here. For the longest time, I did not even know this was here. It wasn't until randomizers started really being a thing that, you know, and people did scrub sanity. It's like, oh, don't forget to check the, you know, the scrubs in Ganon's castle. It's like, what? Ganon's castle has Deku scrubs? Yeah, there's a secret room full of fairies and business scrubs. Let's see what they got for sale, because I honestly don't know. Okay, how about I just show off a feature of the Megaton hammer I never really utilized. And put my bow on too. It feels good. Get out of the ground! Alright, you win. I'll spare you. If you spare me, I'll sell you a red potion for 40 rupees. No. I just filled my bottles with fairies. I'm kind of a dingus for doing that. I didn't know they had potions. Knock it off. Leave me alone. I'll sell you arrows. I even need arrows. Okay, I kind of do, but whatever. What about you? What about you? I quit. If you let me go, I'll sell you some bombs. 5 pieces for 40 rupees? No. Yikes, I'm going home. Alright, you win. Spare me and I will sell you a green potion for 40 rupees. No. Yikes, I'm going home. So it's good to know if we need to come back and restock. I don't know if any of that stuff respawns, but I imagine it would. You know, eventually, maybe if we leave the dungeon and come back. So this is one of those 2 dungeons in the game that does not have does not have a map or compass. The second being the Gyarados training ground, technically. Oh, hello. Goodbye. So, you know, something I'm thinking about because we just got the Arrow of Light is it reminds me of Boy Scouts, how there's a rank there that's like Arrow of Light. And when I heard, you know, when I was a kid, I had gotten before. What am I looking for in my inventory? I'm already forgetting. It's Inspired 2, that's why not. You know, I was in Boy Scouts as a kid, and I think around the time I'd heard of the Arrow of Light was when I was like already playing through Ocarina of Time myself. And as Tim pointed out in his Let's Play, but I'll point out in case you didn't know, they kind of put that green rupee there to lead you to that last torch that you need to miss. Or need to hit. And it wasn't green rupee, it was a blue rupee. Brain is so scrambled, just like the eggs I had for breakfast. But yeah, it was I don't really know how to describe how into the game I was. Not as big as I became, like, in my teens. But, you know, big enough to be like, ooh, Arrow of Light, I'm gonna get that so I can beat Ganondorf. You know, I didn't actually... You know, I knew it wasn't actually, you know, an actual magical Arrow of Light. But it's still cool, just like, yeah, I got an Arrow of Light, I could beat Ganondorf in real life. Let's wait for these fans to turn off. Another relic of how the Forest Temple was gonna be wind-based. Or possibly its own, you know, instead of being Forest Temple, it was gonna be the Wind Temple. Should probably put on the hook shot and maybe bombs? I think there's a BMOS in here. And I think actually you do want to step on that block while the fan is going with the hover boots. A lot of conditions there. I know to blow you into that ruby. No, okay. Just throw a bomb at that guy. Got him. It's weird. I swear, my direct hits, directly hitting it and the bomb going off right when it hits the Beamos, almost always stuns it instead of killing it. But then when I think, oh, that one's just gonna stun it. No, that one kills it. Oh. This room can be tricky because if you fall, you have to, just like back in the Gyarados training grounds, you have to start collecting the silver rubies again. Fan should be turning off soon. Jump on over, get that. And there we go. Filling up our new Giant's wallet. The idea of an adult's wallet kind of makes sense, because, oh, you're a kid. You don't need more than $100 on you at any time. No, not a bomb! It's the wrong button to shoot the hook shot. There we go. But a Giant's wallet doesn't really make sense. Like, why aren't adults allowed to carry 500 rupees? Why do you have to be a giant to carry 500 rupees? I mean, it's probably more of a metaphorical thing than literally like, oh, only giants are allowed to carry this. But it's still kind of a little weird. Just a touch. Just a skosh. So we come to these, whatever you call them. Shoot it with a light arrow, and it dispels the barrier. And it's Arya! We see her again! The force barrier is dispelled. Hurry up, Link. Why is that askew? Why is that not centered or fully to the left or right? They just have no idea what they're doing with the speech boxes in the end of the game. It's crazy. Now we've severed the connection. Although I guess we destroyed the source, so I guess it's not necessarily severing the connection, and more just destroying the source of the energy outright. There's no energy at all, so it's not that there's no connection, it's that there's no energy to be sent. Ow. Okay, so we will need some blue fire, so I'll go ahead and empty a bottle. I forgot that there was blue fire here. I feel like I was on a train of thought there in the Force Temple room, but I kind of lost it. But yeah, I am definitely, like, as much as the wallets are kind of a, I don't know if you can necessarily call it a Zelda-ism, but a charming aspect of it. It's fun to unlock bigger and bigger wallets as the game progresses. I definitely appreciate that future games got rid of the idea, and just in general, and let you just carry up to 999 or 9,999 rupees, which is really more than you'll ever need. So that's, a more logical cap than 500. Although I say that like any game, like this game or Twilight Princess, that gives you, still has a limit on rupees, but still gives you big wallets. You don't need rupees in them, like everyone knows. It's a timed ice block sliding puzzle. It's a good thing I already saw Tim do this, like, a few days ago by now. But, still kind of remember it a little bit. I actually wasn't sure if I pushed the right block, but now that I'm, now that it's in the hole, I'm like, oh yeah, that is the correct block. To give us 2 whole minutes to do that. I don't have blue fire! Aww. And I don't suppose it's gonna stay, is it? Nope. Oh well. And it's something I should've... I wanted to say while in the Spirit Temple, and I was just too busy ranting about Majora's Mask 3D, that now that we have the Mirror Shield, we are officially like proof. We cannot be... I mean, we can still be eaten by them, but we won't lose any items. As long as you have the Mirror Shield and the Kokiri Tunic equipped, you don't have to worry about your items being stolen by a like, because they cannot steal those from you, because they're unique items. And also, one's an item that you can't replace, and the other is a tunic that you can't take off, because, well, I would say they can't have Link going around with no clothes, but you can do that in Breath of the Wild, so They did it eventually. But in this game, they decided, you know what? No. That's not gonna be a thing. Oh, and the timer's still going. Oh, no. Better get out of here before a minute and 23 seconds is up. Ah. Yeah, good. Dispel the good old water barrier. What do I keep calling that? The good old battle barrier. It's like, shut up. The arrow's still floating there. Stop photobombing me, arrows. The water barrier is dispelled. Hurry up. See, that's better. Rudo centered her. Hurry up. So I'm trying to think of a joke, you know, like, see, she's a good wife. She centers her words. It's like, what's that have to do with being a wife? And I just had to get another joke in there. It's like, yep, Link is married. Maybe there hasn't been a wedding yet, but he's engaged. For sure. I don't think he's going to break that commitment off. And if he does, he's kind of a jerk. But I don't know, maybe Rudo will forgive him. Because, you know, he did do it to save the world. Which reminds me of the one orc in Skyrim who you can marry to help her escape the, you know, she wants to leave the stronghold, but she can't unless she's married. So it's like, you could marry her to help her get out. Just wanted to do these in the... Although, I guess I should have done fire before water, but... I collect all these silver rupees. Wait, is that timer because it's hot in here? Yes. Okay. I think in Master Quest that timer is constant, no matter what. Just like that sinking platform. Should just give you a sinking feeling. Huh. I didn't know you could, or didn't remember you could do horizontal swipes with the hammer. I know you can do that in Wind Waker. Oh, wait. Can we? I don't think we can finish this yet. We need to do the shadow barrier. Because believe it or not, if you've never seen this game before... Oh, I died. Well... Yeah, we can't do this yet. Believe it or not, if you've never seen this game before, there's still one more item to get. Which is kind of silly, because you get it, like, right after the upgrade it replaces. I ran all the way around that way when it was right over here. The Shadow Room. We need to complete this first before we can finish this dungeon. Are you gonna stop at all, or...? No. I just have to waste an arrow because I'm a bad shot. Here's another instance of needing to use the fire arrow. Although, actually, I think you can hookshot to those, to that torch, and use Din's fire. But, you know, that would also require you to have Din's fire. So, they're both required, basically. Blue rupee! I wasted my time! No! Whatever. We'll just hit it again. Still nothing. Hit it again. Still nothing. Hit it again. That is a good episode of Gumball. Really. Oh, no! My red tunic! Switch it before he eats it! Ah! Ha! You need to take it. Now that like is actually kind of rude, because if he steals your tunic and then spits you over the ledge, you're not getting your tunic back. But yeah, that episode of Gumball I was referencing is pretty good. It's like it does accurately depict what it's like to you know, be a game fan. Maybe more specifically back then, when, you know, well, I say back then like it's not a modern I don't think it's supposed to be a modern setting. Technology doesn't seem modern. Aww. But yeah, you know, that feeling of, can't wait for a game to come out, you know, better keep refreshing the website to find more details of it. Like, that was me when Skyward Sword was coming out, basically. No, I think you actually do need the fire arrow, because you can't exactly... Well, maybe you can run past the like. Oh. Maybe you can run past the like fast enough to get over there. So this switch, I think, makes a chest appear. I was always afraid of this, you know, coming down to this part of the room when I was younger, but it's not actually that precarious. It's not as tense to walk along it as Kid Me found it. Let's go ahead and open this chest. Well, there's no dungeon map or compass, so it can only be one thing. You found the golden gauntlets, so you can feel even more power coursing through your arms. Grab stuff with A and lift. Grab with A and lift stuff up. Ah! So we haven't even fully utilized the silver gauntlets. I haven't even shown off the rocks you can now lift with the silver gauntlets. And they're gone. We replaced them. Gold gauntlets. I don't think I like how they look as much as the silver gauntlets. Because the silver gauntlets blend with your shield all nicely. You know, the mirror shield. And the Hylian shield in some ways. Hylian shield does have some white on it. But no, sadly they're gone. We can't switch appearances back. Oh well. Man, magic gauntlets are another concept that's just very fantasy to me. You know, it's that primo fantasy, I guess, to reference Lego Star Wars. Oh. It just makes those go again. Okay. These pots should have arrows and magic. Dispel the shadow barrier. Go away, arrow. Impa. The shadow barrier is dispelled. Please save the princess. Oh yeah, I didn't say it earlier when the thing was happening, but so addendum, I forgot to, you know, counting waifus, I forgot to count Sheik, because, you know, she is pretty awesome. Like, if I'm gonna count Impa, I should count Sheik, because Sheik is basically a younger Impa, as far as we know. But then also she's Zelda, so technically also, I mean, I would count them as the same character. So, you know, if we're counting waifu, that's 1 + 1 for Sheik / Zelda. Not, you know, 1 for Sheik and 1 for Zelda, equaling 2 points total. But, you know, they do have different appearances and I suppose different mannerisms. So you could argue that they're different characters. You know, honestly, I think this is my least favorite room. Tim said his is the Force Temple one. I think this is mine. I don't like this falling platform. They couldn't even retexture this asset that they clearly copy-pasted from the Fire Temple. So lazy. 0 out of 10. Man, Ocarina of Time is just so overrated. They clearly just copy-paste assets. I say, knowing that they literally copy-pasted assets from Ocarina of Time to make Majora's Mask, and don't hold it against Majora's Mask at all. So here's the power of the gold gauntlets. There's like 3 rocks like that in the entire game, and that's one of them. It is kind of stupid when you think about that there are only 3 places in the entire game you ever use this upgrade. You get out of here. You think you're so tough? I was gonna say so hot, but you were on fire, so I guess in that regard. Ah, go back. Okay, now we need the long shot to get over to the door. But honestly, I guess this place isn't as bad as I'm remembering, assuming I can reach this from here. Please. Please. Well, here I was about to say this place isn't as bad as I'm remembering because you don't have to stand on this platform while it's lowering to hookshot over to the door. but you do. Excuse me. I mean, it's not like it's hard, but I still don't like it. Go ahead and free Darunia from this bubble, I guess. Although, I don't know. I guess Ganondorf didn't capture the sages, did he? They were all waiting in the Sacred Realm. They used their power to make the bridge. Fire power is dispelled. Hurry up, brother. You know, it's funny. That's like one of the few times you actually see the sages use any kind of magic power. And they use it to warp you outside of the room. Now we gotta uncover the light dungeon, or light portion of the dungeon to get to this. My train of thought was backwards there, I'm now realizing. There's rock number 2, by the way. We only get to see that animation one more time. Okay, we come over here, move the rock to uncover the light segments. Which also kind of borrows a lot from, like, Spirit Temple and Shadow Temple, kind of. Like this invisible guy. I think I need the light around here. This is one of the few keys that you'll find in the dungeon. In Ganon's castle / tower. I'm going back to full health now. That's cool. Oh, I wanted to turn off the lens of truth. This room is one of those jackpot rooms when you're doing the randomizer. I'm sure you can imagine, you know, lots of chests when you randomize the things that are in the chests. Jeez, stop hiccuping. Can I talk, please? You know, lots of chests stands to reason. Would be quite a spot to investigate when you're specifically looking for chests. Just gotta stop getting mad at myself for, you know, when I find my commentary not as exciting, dude. I forgot these 2 chests were frozen. Freeze chests. Now, I remember that one in the Spirit Temple, but, you know, can't pinpoint where the trap chests are in Ganon's castle. So there's 3 of them. Now we know that much. And the one that appears for killing all the enemies is surely the key. It's the only one left. There you go. You gotta wonder... Well, what I'm wondering is if there's a like here. Take off your red tunic, man. You don't want to lose it. You gotta wonder how many ideas were used in the light portion of Ganon's castle. How many of those ideas were meant to be part of the scrapped Temple of Light? Also, speaking of scrap stuff, I never even gave mention to the unicorn fountain. I believe, if I'm remembering right, the unicorn fountain was... Hey, you know what's funny? It's funny that that door... Getting distracted here. It's funny that that door is like, it's locked, and you have to play Zelda's Lullaby to make a chest appear, to make a key appear. You know, to get a key to unlock the door. But they could have just made it that the door is locked with Zelda's Lullaby. And then when you play Zelda's Lullaby, the door opens. You know, they just had to have one extra step in there of collecting a key first, and then putting the key in the door lock. Like, that's weird. It's, you know, just a couple of extra steps. It's always weird when dungeons put the key that you're supposed to use on the door, like, 10 feet away. Oh, look, there's no barrier here. And actually, if you wait too long looking for it, this guy will jump out at you, ambush you. Give me your rupees, I can hold them now. Oh, that is a lot of rupees. Was that like 100 rupees? He dropped like 5 reds. No, this wall's an illusion. What was I saying that I interrupted myself? Yeah, the unicorn fountain. If I'm remembering right, that was supposed to be where you would find the Triforce in the game. It was like a part of the Sacred Realm. And the Triforce just stays on top of the unicorn fountain. The light barrier is dispelled. Hurry! There was also an unused Great Fairy model. some could argue that it's a better model than what we got. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Because it is kind of like a combination between the Great Fairies that we get in Wind Waker and Minish Cap. So that's kind of interesting. You know, those games clearly came far later, you know, way after this game. So it's not like they were necessarily like, oh, well, we didn't use it here, but let's use it in this game. Or no, opposite train of thought, opposite. I hate when I do that. Saying the opposite of what I meant. No, throw the bomb! I just need to slow down with my commentary is what I need to do when think before I speak. I could have put that over there. But I'm pretty sure I need the fire arrow soon. It's too bad you can't equip both. I'll go fire. But yeah, it would actually be impossible to say, yeah, this design came about by combining these two designs. And, you know, does anyone ever look at a design and go, you know what? Let's split that into two different designs. Like, you know, we could make a Great Fairy like this, or we can make a Great Fairy like this. Let's use that one in this game and then that other one in this. Like, no, it's asinine. It's a fun word to use. I mean, really, isn't asinine just a synonym for ridiculous? Is there a fairy there? Besides Navi, who's floating there to let me know there's something there to begin with? I'm just gonna assume Song of Storms. Or maybe Sunsong? There it is. You should have been in the light portion of the dungeon. Oh, man, I forgot. They refill your magic, too. That's so nice. So great to find that there. I think we might actually need Bombshell in here. Oh, man, look at that. They don't actually have a bottom rendered, so they're kind of just... Look at that. Isn't that weird? They're like a coffee filter or something. Or, you know, like a cupcake paper, but without a cupcake in it. I think this might be the only time, like, you know, aside from that one time in the kid portion of the Spirit Temple, I think this is the only time they require you to use bomb shoes. Or bomb shoe. I wonder if the bomb shoe were planned to be your item for the Temple of Light. You know, there's one theory for you. Which, you know, if that were the case, thank goodness we never got that dungeon, because man, bomb shoe are unreliable. As we saw with bomb shoe bowling, what a disaster that was. So I think this web up here is actually too high to hit with Din's fire. Which is kind of ridiculous, because, you know, Din's fire kind of just grows. You know, it's an orb of fire that just grows until it decides it's no longer active. So it's funny to think that that up there is just too high for it. Actually, can I? No, they don't get hurt by light in this game. You think that's a new one, or is that the same one coming back? Because I think if you fail to kill them, if you fail to kill the ones that appear from a trap, they will actually just go away. They'll only drop down once. Well, let's see if that's true. Let's not kill this guy. Man, what's going on with my... Oh, the light effect is clipping through my shield. I'm going to chalk that up to emulation. Yeah, he's not coming back. Oh, come on. The last one. Gotta put on the light. Okay. You're free, Nabaru! I barely know you, but I guess I don't really know any of the sages. I kinda know Rudo. I've definitely met, you know... Well, I've met all of them before. That's stupid to say. Bears is spelled. Hurry up, kid. You know, I guess I did know Doronia for a little bit. You know, back there as a kid. And of course, we grew up with Saria, so she's the one we know best. But yeah, I guess Link doesn't really have much of a relationship with any of the sages. And the barrier is blah, 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 blah. Just like the barrier, blah. But you know what? We're not going in there. Because you may notice my health is not full. There's a lot of stuff we're missing, so let's go get that stuff before we save the princess, you know. Story's urging us to hurry up and go save her, but there's actually no rush. Like, we're what's preventing Ganondorf from ruling the world right now, so as long as we stay far away from him, he's not getting that piece of Triforce he wants. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and I guess in the next few episodes we'll be getting the rest of the collectibles. Bye.